Listen, I have a confession to make. I'm a gear snob. Everybody who watches this channel knows that. Typically when I shoot my real estate listing videos, I like to use this bad boy right here. This is the RS4 Mini gimbal by DJI, and this is a Sony ZV-E1, and I typically will use a Tamron 17-28 lens, which I'm actually using to shoot this video right now. So I have a different lens on the camera, but this is a full frame professional setup, and it cost me roughly $4,000 back when I bought it. But I just got back from my new listing where I once again decided to shoot an entire property with this, which is my iPhone 17 Pro, along with the DJI OM7P gimbal. I know they recently came out with the OM8. I do not own that one, but the OM7 is the old trusty. And honestly, I think that the results are gonna blow your mind. In fact, why don't you guys put your guess in the comments right now? Which one of these two shots is the iPhone 17 Pro? Is it A or B? Okay guys, so my main goal today is to answer one question. Is the iPhone finally good enough to replace the Pro camera for real estate videos? The good news for you is that I shot an entire listing using both of these setups. And at the end, I'm gonna show you guys the final edited video side by side so you can be the judge. So guys, before I show you guys the clips, I just want you to understand the conditions that I was in out there. At the time of shooting this, it is early February in Minnesota, and that means two things. One, it's absolutely freezing outside, and two, the lighting is a freaking nightmare. Not to mention, I filmed this thing at high noon when the sun was absolutely just blasting through every single window in the house. Not usually the smartest time to shoot a real estate video. However, it was the window that the clients had available, so I went ahead and I went for it. But the point is that this is gonna be the ultimate stress test for any sensor. Okay guys, I'm at a new listing. I'm gonna show you guys how I shoot real estate using my iPhone 17 Pro. I just wanted to mention a couple things here. Quick reminder, first thing you do when you go into any property is you make sure that every single light in the house is on. I also make sure that the fireplace is on, because that always looks better on the video. Sometimes I'll even turn on the TV so that something's going on the TV as well. This house actually has a bunch of screens in it. I'm probably gonna end up leaving the TVs off. And then let's just go over a few of the settings in the camera. So first off, I wanna make sure that I'm in 4K. Secondly, I wanna make sure I'm shooting in 4K 60 FPS. So the way that you get to that is here in the bottom left, you wanna click where it says 30, because I currently have it set to 30, and I'm gonna slide that over to 60, and then I wanna make sure that the resolution is set to 4K. I'm not actually gonna shoot in HDR. I do not wanna shoot in HDR. I've turned HDR off in the settings because a lot of times on certain screens, HDR will look a little funny. And I'm not even gonna shoot in log because I don't want those huge files. I like my properties to look pretty true to life in terms of what the actual colors are in the house, because I'm gonna be using this for marketing purposes, obviously, to sell this house. So now that we have that situation taken care of, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that I'm shooting with the 0.5x lens. That's the widest angle camera on the iPhone 17 Pro. That's gonna be equivalent to like a 13mm lens. And that's always gonna look the best because that's what people are expecting for these iPhone real estate videos. So I usually will open this up to the maximum. Occasionally for detail shots, I will go closer to 1x or somewhere in between 0.5 and 1. But for the most part, I'm gonna leave this wide open at 0.5x. And then we're gonna talk about exposure. So here on the iPhone, the one thing that you have to pay attention to is both the white balance and the exposure. So in situations like this where I have windows all over the place here in this property, it's really nicely lit. You want to make sure all those blinds are open. But sometimes if you don't have the exposure set correctly, or if you just leave it in auto the way it is set up in the iPhone originally, you'll have those windows blown out and it will look like a spaceship is landing outside the house. So what you want to do is you want to expose for the outside. And the way that you do that is you tap and hold on each window, and then it's going to turn on both your exposure and your white balance lock. And then what you do is you swipe on the screen. So you're going to swipe from top to bottom to take down that exposure a little bit. So I always like to take it down just a little bit. If the interior is a little bit dark, I will go ahead and I will do things in post to brighten up that interior. But it's always better to be exposed for the outside than the inside, because if that window's blown out, you'll never get any of that information back. Whereas if the inside is a little bit dark, you can usually brighten it up a little bit, and it's gonna be a little touch and go. You might still end up with slightly blown out windows, but this is the way that I found that you're gonna get the best result from an iPhone 17 Pro. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select record. Notice that I'm using the actual built-in iPhone camera app. I'm not using the one that DJI provides with the gimbal. And I am going to just do a little ninja walk. So one thing that people kind of miss out on is that they have the camera up here. And what you don't want is you don't want the camera up here. You actually want the camera closer to your belly button. And then you go ahead and adjust the joystick to point the camera up a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little ninja walk like this. So the reason why I set the frame rate to 60 frames per second is because I plan on slowing this footage down in post to about 50% speed. And that way it will remove any of those camera shakes and jitters that you get when you're walking. I didn't use the joystick. What I did is I turned on the overlay on the camera that shows the crosshairs on the camera, because that way I can be sure that I'm holding the camera straight. But what I didn't do is I didn't use the joystick to pan left and right, because when you do that, it looks very robotic and it looks very amateur. So another thing I like to do is, you see this wall here, I like to use this wall to get what's called a reveal shot. So I'll push in, and as I push in closer to the room, this wall will obviously be pushed out of the foreground and it will reveal the room. So I can do that with both the push in, and I can also do that with the orbit shot as well. All right, so now I'm gonna get a shot of this fireplace over here. It's always good to get a close up here of the fireplace, whether I use it or not. I always like to make sure I at least have it. Okay, next I'm gonna get a little shot of the dining room. What I like to do is I like to point my camera down, and as I approach, I'm going to push up on the joystick, and it's gonna be a little push-in shot. All right, so now we'll get a few nice shots of this kitchen here, and I will show you the main things here. Is I want a push-in shot, I want an orbit shot, because I don't know exactly which one I'm going to use, and then I want to get some detailed shots of these lights here, these fixtures. So another thing I want to just point out is that you'll notice that the lighting in here is a little bit yellow. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the video, but that's just the soft white look of the lighting, which looks really good in person, but on a video you want it to be more of a cool tone. So what I like to do is, when I'm locking the exposure, I also make sure that the white balance looks good, because you're also locking the white balance when you lock the exposure. So the longer I point my iPhone at this room, the more it will actually set the white balance for me. So I just use the auto white balance, but I just make sure that it's locked when I'm shooting the shots, because I don't want the white balance or the exposure to change while I'm mid shot, because that's always going to look amateur also. So we got that locked, reducing a little bit, and then we'll do a little push-in shot. And now I'll get my orbit shot. Orbit shots are cool because you can actually take them one way and you can use them both ways by reversing your footage. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to get these fixtures here. I'm gonna switch this camera to 1X. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shoot these a little bit closer up, a little bit more detailed, and there's no real rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. This is just like fill footage, so I kind of just rock back and forth and make sure I get it. May not even use it, but we just want to make sure that keep the camera level and that we kind of go around it and get a shot of that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish shooting the rest of the property. I'm going to get my detailed shots as well here using the 1X camera on the iPhone. I'm also going to switch to vertical, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot the property this way so I can get some short form video as well. And then go ahead and stay till the end of the video, because I'm going to show you the finished edited product. So I'm going to hurry up and I'm going to get to work. All right, guys, so before I play you guys the final edited video, let's look at the raw files side by side, because this is where the Sony usually wins. First off, we're going to do the vibe check here. I think most buyers kind of have a certain look that they're looking for when they're looking at listing videos on social media, and the iPhone really does a good job of nailing that look and the expectation for the buyers. I mean, 10 years ago, we wanted cinematic, moody, kind of blurry backgrounds, but today people scroll fast, and what they're looking for is they're looking for bright, sharp and wide shots. They want to see the whole room, not just like an artistic shot of the faucet or something like that. Second, I want you guys to pay close attention to the windows here, the window test. But if you take a look at this living room shot and then this shot here at the top of the stairs where there's a ton of natural light pouring through those windows, you're gonna see that the Sony didn't do a very good job when it comes to that light pouring in through those windows. And I realized that, you know, some, if not all of these window shots are gonna be completely blown out with the Sony, and you're also gonna see some of those shots blown out with the iPhone as well. It was just a really, really hard time to shoot an interior of the house, but I really do think that the iPhone 17 did a lot better job with those window shots. All right, guys, you've seen the raw files, but does it actually hold up in a real edit? Without further ado, here's the final video. One shot entirely on iPhone and the other on my full frame Sony ZV-E1.
Hey guys, welcome to my latest listing at 3341 Lakewood Trail here in Woodbury. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom end unit townhouse. If you're looking for something that's low maintenance, this is definitely the house for you. From the open concept main area to the large kitchen with tons of storage space to the back patio area, this house checks every box. So it is freezing outside right now, negative 10 degrees. I think we should head inside and take a look.
All right, guys, so I'm selling the Sony. I'm just kidding. I'm way too much of a gearhead to not have a high-end pro camera like the Sony ZV-E1. In fact, I actually have multiple high-end Sony full-frame cameras, but for the weekly grind, for the Reels and the TikToks and the YouTube Shorts that actually drive my business, I believe that the iPhone 17 Pro wins. It's faster, it's lighter, and frankly, the footage is exactly what buyers are expecting when they're scrolling the gram and they come across a listing video. So the biggest takeaway here isn't actually the camera though, it's the edit. Now you guys saw how I was able to make that iPhone footage look premium, and if you don't know how to do that, even a $10,000 camera is gonna look boring to consumers. So if you're interested in learning how to edit a listing video using the CapCut desktop app, check out this video right here. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you all on the next one.